hot that I felt on me was my blood. He knocked me out with drugs. And he did the surgery. The dialysis, it was an emergency. And so my nephrologist, my kidney doctor, called in a surgeon, and the surgeon came to the hospital and had a nice conversation with me. We were smiling and laughing, and he said, so, well, you're my only patient right now, we'll get you in a few minutes. So I was taken to the OR, and they were going to put in an emergency catheter under my clavicle, which lies here, to access my blood, to clean my blood. So we went, and you guys, remember I told you in one of my videos that I had over 50 procedures in my life, and so I have a high tolerance to anesthesia, and I've even woken up during surgery. So he knew this, and so they were giving me the drugs, and I would not go to sleep. They gave me everything that they had, and I still would not go to sleep. I was still talking like I'm talking right now, and that's because I had my first surgery when I was 3 years old. And so over the years, I stopped counting at number 50. But anyway, back to the story. So he was getting really upset, and he says, well, you know what? I don't really have to put you to sleep for this. This is just a courtesy. He said, we're going to start now. And I said, no, I don't want to be awake when you're cutting me. I'm still awake. And so in my mind, I was thinking about the actual procedure where they cut and they thread it in to your veins, and you have to go under or over. Well, they go over the clavicle. And so I was like, no, I don't. I rescind my consent. I take back my consent. I do not give you permission to do surgery. I don't want the surgery. I'm going back to my room. And so there was a black nurse and two, I think the anesthesiologist was white. Yeah, because there were no other black people in the room. And color matters, and I'll tell you why. So the doctor says, give her some more. And I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, they told me they gave me everything. So, but anyway, the doctor says, get her ready. And the nurse is saying she's rescinded her consent. She told him 3 times, the black nurse. She's rescinded her consent, doctor. She doesn't want the surgery. And he says, I don't remember, you guys, what he said, to be honest. All I know is that he got over me, and he said, just screaming at the nurse behind me, he says, she did this to me before. And he slammed my arms down, because I was up on my elbow trying to push myself up from the bed to really state, I don't want you to touch me. And so he says, she did this to me before. And he slams my arms down on the table, especially my left arm that I was up on my elbow. He slammed it down, and he's over me like this, screaming in my face, saying bad words. Spit was flying out of his mouth. And to be honest, you guys, I can barely remember what he was saying. I just remember he was saying bad words. And he had to have been the one who pushed more drugs on me, because you guys, I woke up and I was hot. Like, I felt this hotness all around me, and it woke me up. And I'm looking around, and then I go right back to sleep. But the hot that I felt on me was my blood. He knocked me out with drugs. And he did the surgery. And the thing that they usually do is that they put it right here. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. I told you guys this is hard. But he put it in my neck. And I specifically asked him not to do that before the surgery, before everything happened. And so when I woke up again, I was being wheeled into the hospital room where my mother and my husband were waiting for me. And I immediately started to tell them what happened. And the nurse in there runs to get the charge nurse. And she says, well, you have to report this. And then another nurse comes in and she says, you have to report it to the police. Don't let it go. And so if he did that to me, then he's done it before. But the other thing that happened is that I realized I didn't even recognize him when I first saw him when he came into my room. Is that the year before, the doctor wanted me to start dialysis. But I know my body. I've been sick my entire life. I know my body. And I told him, I said, if we can get my blood count back up and some, fluids in me, my creatinine will go down. And you guys, in 24 hours doing that, I got blood and I got fluids. My creatinine went back down and I was able to stay off of dialysis another year. But he was talking about that he came to the hospital to do the surgery and I refused. And he was still angry about that. And he recognized me. And I didn't recognize him because it wasn't a problem for me, but it stuck with him. And so another thing, they kept me in the hospital. They kept telling me that they hadn't scheduled dialysis outside of the hospital and they just couldn't let me go without scheduling dialysis. And they were in and out of my room questioning me. They even had the police come in and talk to me, but talk to me not to press charges because that was my intent. He assaulted me and he drugged me. He kidnapped me. And I wanted to leave and he held me there by force, weight of drugs. He performed surgery on me without my consent. He did so many bad things, you guys. And it's just still, every time I talk about it, it hurts because it's like such a violation of my rights and my body. And he was never punished because I contacted a lawyer, a black lawyer that was recommended to me, and I'm mentioning his race for a purpose again. He took the case and he said, we're gonna go and press charges. That never happened, but I trusted him. And so from May to November, he played around. He never filed a damn thing in court. But they kept telling me, oh, we're working on it. It's a lot. And then I get a letter in November or December of that same year telling me that they were not going to handle my case because it was a lot to do again, and they were swamped with other cases. And so I guess I dropped the ball too because I felt defeated. And till this day, he has not paid for what he did to me. And then let me get to why I mentioned race. A black nurse and a black lawyer both failed me, a black woman. The nurse refused to tell the truth about what happened. I don't know, I don't remember what she said. I have all the paperwork, but she refused to tell the truth about what happened. And the lawyer, I feel, in my opinion, stabbed me in the back, dropped the ball, and so, but it hurts. It still does, because this man screamed in my face, spit on me, put his hands on me, and did surgery on me against my will. So now you guys know. And that's the story that I dread telling, because no matter how many times I pause this video, I'll still cry. Well, anyway, you guys, give me some advice. What do you guys think I should do with this? Should I try to bring this animal to justice? Let me know. Thanks.